My CEO Fiancé called off our wedding because I lost my engagement ring. Then I saw it on his assistant's finger on our wedding day just to punish me for losing my engagement ring and teach me a lesson. My CEO Fiancé called off the wedding. He announced he was marrying his assistant right there in front of everyone. But on what was supposed to be our wedding day, I saw the missing ring on her finger before I could even ask about it. Brenda, the assistant, started crying, saying I'd always had it out for her. She said that I was trying to set her up to prove her innocence. She dramatically threatened to quit her job. Mark, my fiancé, then, to appease her, called a company-wide meeting. He publicly trashed me on a Rhymers, saying I was a jealous gold-digging shrew and was going to give her all my stock options as compensation. He said that if he didn't, he would marry Brenda, and I would be left penniless. The whole place gasped, looking at me with pity. Everyone thought I'd just roll over and do whatever Mark wanted, like always, but this time I just threw up my hands. Well, congrats to the happy couple. The words had barely left my mouth when Mark went ballistic. His face turned red and he slammed his fist on the table, grabbed a contract and threw it at my face. Sarah, what is that supposed to mean? You mess up and then you can but just apologize. You think I want to fire you and kick you out of the company right now? The room buzzed with whispers. This wasn't exactly new. I may have been Mark's girlfriend, but at work he would yell at me over time. People stopped respecting me, but Mark wasn't satisfied, so he put clips of him yelling at me on the internet. It should have been me, the person who helped build his company, but everyone called me a trophy wife that couldn't do anything. Sure enough, the Ryfans comments blew up, with everyone telling me how horrible I was. Brenda couldn't hide her smile. After a moment, she closed the Rymans and started comforting Mark. Mark, don't be impulsive. I already forgave Sarah. Besides, whatever Sarah's done, she's still your girlfriend, and I don't want you two fighting over me. Mark's eyes softened for a second. Maybe he was starting to regret what he said to me. Then, when Brenda spoke, he scowled and looked at me with disdain. She takes advantage of being my girlfriend. I spoil her, that's why she's so out of control. Sarah, tell me I am not wrong. He glared at me. I just rolled my eyes. Anything I said he would twist. Seeing I was silent, Mark said what he wanted and said that the meeting was over. After everyone left, he sighed heavily as if he was sorry. Sarah, I really didn't think you wouldn't apologize. It's like you wanted me to look bad. I'm just disappointed in you. That was his usual line after scolding me. At first, I believed him, always trying to figure out where I went wrong, but I started to realize that every time I tried to fix things, I was falling into his trap and his punishments would get worse. What did I do wrong? I asked him. You guys are practically married. What's wrong with what I said? Mark's face changed. Then he smiled. You really are narrow-minded, aren't you? That wedding was for publicity. We promoted a wedding for a year, but we ended up not doing it. What do you think people will say you should be thinking, Brenda? She found the ring. You were out of town, so she stepped up and took your job for a bit. You don't care as much as she does. I don't know why you were mad at me, Mark continued. I was trying not to laugh. I paid for everything in that wedding and I spent 3 months planning it. He forced the ring on Brenda. I argued, but he said that I didn't trust him. Then the ring got lost and everyone showed up. So I got another ring. Mark was mad because I wasn't taking the wedding seriously. He was in a bad mood, so I was sent out of town. Now he was doing what he always does and blaming me for everything.